Hey everybody, good morning. It's Dana Moore on the Live Naturally system. I'm using Ecamm Live right now, so I just want to give you a second to jump on and make sure that this is streaming in the right place, okay? When you use Ecamm, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's a way to go live on Facebook with slides. I'm not going to use slides today, but I wanted to put this website down on there for you. So sometimes when we use technology that's a little more complicated, things are glitchy. So just making sure that I'm on and that you can see me. I see 5 people are watching. The thing is, I can't tell if you can hear me. I can't see your beautiful hearts and thumbs up and sometimes your angry faces. So I'm just going to go for it and hope for the best, okay? So it's like doing a call with zero feedback, basically. Oh no, I saw a thumbs up. It came up. You guys, thank you. Okay, so that I'm going to assume you can hear me and things are good. So if this is your first time on our Tipster Tuesday, my name is Dana Moore. I am a co-owner, founder of Live Naturally Tools. My co-owner is Jenna Cross. She's a Blue Diamond and she is phenomenal. I mostly do Tipster Tuesdays, and you'll see Jenna from time to time. But anyway, we talked last week about some life-changing strategies for presidential, or for Diamond. Really, it leads you into presidential. So if you didn't catch that, you're going to want to catch that, okay? It was recorded. It's on that system group page. You can find it. You can watch it. It's there for you, okay? But the whole strategy is kind of based on the fact that you actually are good at or can develop leaders, right? And so based on comments on that video and then on the gold and platinum page, I just was asking a lot of questions about what's keeping you from diamond. And a lot of people talked about developing people. And I wanted to give some time to that today. And it might be a longer Tipster Tuesday than normal. I do try to keep these like 10 minutes, just like a surge of inspiration and stuff for your day. But sometimes these are just more chunky topics. And I just want to make sure I give it the time that it deserves. And then I usually can't answer questions as they're coming up just because I'm going to get through content. But I usually go back in the comments and try to answer and clarify things. So if you do have questions that I don't answer, I promise I'll get back to it at some point and address it, okay? So that being said, I just want you to know why I do this. I have loads of conviction that when you have a talent or a gifting or a strength, if you don't use it, you'll lose it, okay? So one of the things that I've always been more inclined to or prone to and good at is leadership and developing people. And I've kind of been put in those types of positions almost my whole life. I can think back to childhood. And so this is one thing that I just feel like I do have this. It's something that I'm good at. It's something I'm always going to be learning in, but it's something that I feel like is a way for me to help you to be successful in your businesses. And for many of you, you did not sign up in doTERRA to be a leader. And that might not have been the most appealing part. You probably got started because you love oils. Maybe you're just getting started. And then you also probably decided to build to change your financial health. Okay. And I get that, but within that comes an organization and a team, and leadership becomes the most crucial aspect of all of that. And it's often the last thing we give attention to or put time into. Okay. So we're going to dig in, grab a warm drink, curl up, get your notebook out, grab a pen, whatever works for you. I am going to try to keep this simple. You know, that's my motto. I try to keep everything super simple. So I want to do that for you. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. There is a website. I wonder if you guys can see it. I hope you can see it. It's right above our Live Naturally logo. That's going to come in handy. I'm going to address that. That's a place where you can go and assess your leadership and how good you are at empowering other people. And it's really revealing. So just make sure that you take a second before this is over or log in later and write that down. It's going to take you 10 minutes to take it, but it's really, really good. And so I want to make sure I point that out before I get on my little tangent and forget. I got my warm drink too, by the way. My husband made me this latte. It's beautiful. He's really good at the foam. Okay, let's talk about developing leaders. Okay, first thing is Let's just talk about the word empowerment, okay? Because I know that in your organizations, the last thing you want to do is enable people. You want to empower them to take ownership of their health, to take ownership of their business, to take ownership of their teams. It's a lot, okay? And it doesn't just happen in our business. Like, we need to do this in our personal lives. We need to do this with our relationships outside of doTERRA. There's a lot that goes into what it looks like to empower other people. Motherhood, fatherhood, those are great ways to empower other people, okay? That's probably our first real test of this. But what does empower mean? It means to give someone the authority or power to do something and to make someone stronger or more confident. I'm going to read those again because I'm not going to plow through this too fast. Give someone the authority or power to do something and make someone stronger or more confident. And I think when we're talking about leadership development and how we interact with our teams, you have to think like, are the words in my mouth that are coming out and the interactions I have with them, am I helping to make them stronger and more confident? Is that how they leave my conversations? Is that what they're taking away? Or are they feeling shamed, discouraged, belittled, frustrated, less than, and we don't necessarily maybe mean to make people feel that way, but this is a delicate business because our success rides on other people's work, doesn't it, in some ways? Now it always depends on us, don't hear me wrong, but they benefit us, okay? So our motives in supporting people and empowering them and lifting them up, they have to be genuine and they have to be truly separated from the outcome, okay? So I can't make my time with somebody, my development of them, about my ulterior motive of hitting another rank. I have to make my time with them and my development of them about them, period. Okay, now my rank will be a beautiful outcome of that, and their growth and the things that will change will be a beautiful outcome and like fruit of that time. But if that's the motive, that's the root cause of why I'm doing what I'm doing, and people can feel that, okay? So you have to be really cautious with what are your motives and have to kind of unlock or separate that outcome of what's going to happen from your development of them. So there's three key components, of empowerment that I want to address. And I will show you a few books that I'm reading that help with this too. But this is specifically coming from this one, The Culture of Empowerment, okay? And that's where that assessment is out of too. I love this book. It's a biblical-based book, Culture of Empowerment, but I love it. It's so good, okay? No but. I love it. I didn't mean to say but. Okay, key components: inspiration, opportunity, and backing. These are three components of empowerment. Okay, so let's talk about inspiration first. This is kind of one that I feel like will hit the nail on the head for you guys a little bit and maybe make it you go, ouch, okay? So when we talk about inspiration, people will follow you because they're inspired, because you're showing them a way of life that makes them feel like I can do what she's doing. She's a step ahead of me or a mile ahead of me, But I feel like if I follow what she does, I can get to where she is going. So that being said, this is all about you. This is about your personal development, your work ethic, your character, your integrity, your personal growth, the way you treat people. Your team is watching all of those things. And so it's very, very important that you're inspiring them, not by managing them, not by cracking the whip, not by telling them what to do, not by posting a ton of stuff on your Facebook page, but by showing them a better way, okay? So maybe you want to inspire them to enroll a lot of people. We all want to inspire that, right? But you need to personally be skilling up in your networking, setting appointments, getting one-on-ones, booking classes. They'll see you doing those things and watching you do it and be inspired to do it, right? And then you can pour out what you've learned. You can pour out like, oh guys, this is the best appointment I've had. I just love helping people. And you can share that experience with them. And that's going to go so much farther than you running a challenge and making them, enroll 10 people that month or demanding to see their numbers, things like that. That actually doesn't motivate people. So we want to inspire them by our own life. And so I want you to take that personally and think, where do I need to skill up in? Am I terrible at time management? Do I need to work on building doTERRA more? Am I a gracious leader, or am I more like tyrannical? What area do you need to skill up on? And doing that self-assessment actually will show you where you need to skill up. Maybe you've got your ducks in a row in every single area, but your home life is a little bit out of whack. And they know that. They've been over. So they're kind of like, oh, I don't know, she seems a little bit out there. And by just watching you grow is going to inspire them. Here's the book. I know somebody just asked, Culture of Empowerment. And now when I say this, don't think that I'm telling you have to be perfect, because you don't. That's not it at all. Perfect is boring. It's gross. It's uninspiring. It's not creative. There's nothing about it that makes people want to be like, I want to be perfect. It's such a facade. Like, we're all, broken humans trying to get our act together here. But people want to see you on the journey. They want to be inspired by that. The other key part of inspiring is, I think it's so great to be vulnerable as a leader. I have found that every leadership position I have been in since I was 14 on, when I shared struggle, when I shared hardship, when I was real in front of them, when I would kind of, even cry or be messy, and be okay with that and trust them and show them that I trusted them with that. That went so far. And then they watched me. Man, it's so inspiring how you went through something really hard and messy and kind of gross and then came out of it. That gives me hope that I can do that too. So that's a key piece in developing leaders. And sometimes we can feel like, well, I'm a leader. They don't need to know that I have struggles. They don't need to know that, maybe, that happened to me in my life. I'm not trying to give specific examples or put words in your mouth, but we've all been there. We've all had relationship issues or loss or financial trouble or, whatever it may be. And those are things that it's good to articulate in a way that you share your heart with them. Okay. It's super inspiring. I can't tell you how many people kind of follow us or watch us because we talk through our financial history and our bankruptcy and everything that we've gone through. And that in itself is not inspiring, but what has come out of it and what we've built from it and what we've learned from it and how vulnerable we are about it is why people are attracted to it. Okay. So we got to be messy. That's one of the key things for inspiration. Okay. Second thing, I know I'm going long. I think you guys are hanging with me. Opportunity. We want to give them opportunity to grow. Okay. It's kind of like, one of my leaders often says that she loves when I call her up to like ask her to do something. I'm like, hey, you need to do this. It's kind of like, put me in, coach, believe in me. We have to give them opportunity to do something. If maybe, for example, we have in our little community group, I say little, it's not, we have a big community group of users. And in that group, we have a thing called Wellness Wednesday, and every Wednesday we go live and we do some doTERRA education. And that is a great time for me to see like who is just a good leader, a good communicator, someone up and coming that maybe would normally be scared to do that, but I'm going to put them in. It's in front of 13,000 people, and I'm going to put them in and call them up. Come on, time to come up, right? It's like the pitcher the relief pitcher who's just back there pitching, and he's pitched the whole stinking series, and it's like he just never gets called in, and then the phone rings and it's like, all right, you're in, put me in, coach. And that's like, that feeling makes them rise up. She believes in me. I don't think I can do this. I'm terrified. I want to pee my pants, but she believes in me. And so her belief in me is going to cause me to rise up. I feel like I'm getting all emotional, you guys. I just believe in people so much. And I think back to before we started doing doTERRA, I was a very active sharer, very not into building, but a very active sharer. And Nate saw, fast start checks and things coming in. Nate's my husband, and he was like, I think you should do this. You're good at this. I think that you would I think you can do this. And I just was like, you think I can do this? And like his belief in me changed everything. It was like the moment then that I decided I'm going to build doTERRA, because somebody that is inspiring to me, that I follow, that's a leader in my life, believed in me and could see me doing it more than I could see it for myself. And so we have to believe that in people. We have to see their greatness when they can't see it. Okay. And it has to be genuine. We're not being like everybody, oh, you're a diamond in the making. I can see it. I don't actually believe that about everybody. So if I say that to you, I absolutely mean it. Okay. Because it's true. I want all my praise to be genuine and heartfelt and authentic. All right. It's not flattery. It's genuine. So give them opportunity to rise up, let them speak at things, share on team calls, give testimonies about oils, call them up, okay? Believe in them. And you know what? They're going to fumble through it the first couple times. Who cares? Who cares? We're not perfect. We've never done this perfectly. No big deal whatsoever. Don't focus on what they did wrong. Focus on what they did right. I know you were scared to death to do that. I am so proud of you. People loved it. It was very engaging. You did so great. It gets easier every time. That's all you need to say. You don't need to say, next time, make sure you don't look at your notes too much. Maybe speak up and slow down. And that kind of criticism doesn't cause them to want to rise up ever again. Okay. So be cautious with those things. Give them opportunity and then give them genuine, good feedback. Okay. Last thing is backing. It's support. Okay. So if we're going to empower people, we inspire them, we give them opportunity, and then we need to give them support. We need to give them backing. And that's going to look different for every single leader in your organization. Sometimes people just need a card in the mail, hey, you're doing such a great job. And they're running hard. Sometimes they need quality time. They need FaceTime with you. They need to run things past you. Sometimes they need a weekly call. Sometimes they just need you to get on a team call with them and say, listen, your leader, Sally, is phenomenal. I love her so much. She's one of my favorite people to work with. They need to hear you supporting them in front of their team, okay? Because a lot of people are going to be really inspired by you, and they want to hear your authority in those things. So just make sure that you're doing things that are supporting them publicly. I saw a comment come up, catch people winning. That's one of my favorite things. It's just catch people winning in things. That's another way to back them and support them, and to call them out publicly with those things. And if you do that, this culture of empowerment and developing leaders is totally going to grow. A couple things as we kind of round out, because I don't want to keep going on and on. I could kind of beat a dead horse with this and talk all day, is this isn't going to get fixed overnight. If you're like, okay, this is not my strength. I'm not super good at this. The culture I've developed maybe isn't the best so far, or maybe I've made some major mistakes. The best thing you can do at that point is be humble. And humility isn't being a doormat. Humility is just recognizing where you need to grow and go to them and say, listen, can we start again? I made a big mistake on that. When you stepped out and, did that, I was so proud of you. And I don't think I communicated that well. And I want you to know I'm really proud of you, and I'm excited to partner with you in this business. That's a huge thing that can mend, broken relationships and broken hearts. So if you've kind of messed this up, that's okay. Be humble, apologize, and move forward. The thing is whether you like it or not, the people on your team and the builders on your team, you're stuck with them for life. Okay. They're locked in unless they go inactive and quit and go somewhere else. They're with you. And so it's up to you. It behooves you. It's in your best interest to make that relationship work really well. Okay. A couple things. If you are struggling with leadership or you want to skill up in leadership, that's what you do. You read leadership books. My absolute favorite is John Maxwell. I could read and have read tons of John Maxwell stuff. A really good one is the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. I thought I pulled it out. I might have it up by my bed again. Sometimes I read 9 books at a time. It's terrible. It's like multitasking at its worst. But another one is, I think it's called Good Leaders Ask Great Questions. So maybe you feel pretty good at leadership, but you're not so good at maybe mentoring or digging, pulling good stuff out of your people. That's a really good one for that. I showed you this one a couple times already. The Culture of Empowerment, really good biblically based book. And that's where this assessment comes from. But you can just go on the assessment. It's totally free. Take it, and it will assess you in a couple different areas. I'm trying to think what it assesses you in. I think it's your potential, your personal life, and your positional life, which is leader role in doTERRA, okay, or anything else you lead in. This is another book that's really good, How People Grow. This is by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend, How People Grow. Okay, that's another good one. This one's a little bit thicker, but it's just really important that we understand people. And this is a good one, especially if you're like unsure of even where to start with these things. And then the last one, the one that you probably should dive into if you're going to leadership this year, is strengths-based leadership. This is what doTERRA will be focusing on at the Silver and Above retreat in March, or retreats, I should say, in March. And you want to get a good handle on that. And when you get this book, the code for the test is in your book. So you can take the assessment and then really get to know yourself. And that's a key part of it too, like knowing yourself, knowing what you're good at, operating in your own zone of genius so that you can champion other people operating in their zones of genius is going to be what makes your team function really well. Okay, guys, there's so much more I could say, and maybe we'll do like a part 2 of this. Team culture for users and team culture for builders are two different things. And Jenna and I do a Thrive coaching group where we talk through things, and there'll be some new Thrive coaching options listed on our website coming up in a few more weeks. So just be patient if you're looking for that. But if you want to dive deeper, get some one-on-one attention from us, structure and strategy help, things like that, that'll be available soon, because we get loads of messages for that, and we would love to be able to kind of serve you all, but it's just not possible. That's why we do Tipster Tuesday. Okay. Yeah, this is the Strengths Finder book, Strengths-Based Leadership. Okay. Culture of Empowerment. You guys got that one? Steve Backlund. How People Grow. Don't start reading all of them at once. Okay. Just pick one. Don't overwhelm yourself. And then anything by John Maxwell, chew it up, eat it up, tear it up, devour it. You're going to grow as a leader, and this will change. You'll see development. One of the things that has impressed me lately is on Tuesdays particularly is a day that I set aside to spend time with my local higher level leaders, golds and above. I usually have one or two. We have lunch or something to get together. Different things happen, but Tuesday's my day. I carve out for that so that I'm really consistent with it. And it's been so encouraging. And when I sit there and listen to them talk about their teams or talk about, their organization or their families or whatever they're sharing with me, I'm just so impressed at their maturity. I've been with a lot of these leaders for 4 years or so, and I'm just so in awe of how much they've grown. And then I'm like, I think I've grown too. I think that this is happening. I think we're all growing. And your people on your team are a reflection of you. They're a reflection of your leadership. And so if you don't really like what you're seeing, that's where you've got to change. Okay. So it's always going to start with you. It's always going to start with you skilling up in leadership. And then it's going to start with how you communicate and execute those things and lift people up. Sorry, I got to stop. Otherwise I'm never going to stop. All right, you guys, I saw a question come through. Oh, okay. Sorry. Courtney, I saw your question come through. I would love structure help for when your organization is a few years old and mistakes have been made. Just know, Courtney, that everything is fixable. That's kind of Jenna and I's like motto or mantra. We're like, everything is fixable when it comes to structure and strategy, but there'll be some Thrive coaching options that you might want to dive into and have us kind of examine and look through your tree too. Look for that in about 2 more weeks, you guys. We're still organizing it and make sure that it's really effective for you. So thanks for being on Tipster Tuesday. If you were on last week, we did some giveaways and we posted some winners for our first timers. So check that out. Just make sure if you won, you give us your address so we can send you some Live Naturally tools. Thanks for being on. Love you. And you guys just go love people. It works. Okay. See you later.